Hello everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another Wild Rift video. This video we're going to be checking out the buffed Lucian in the new patch. Honestly, Lucian's been buffed so many times now that if he's not good anymore, then I don't know what Riot can do. There's been so many buffs. They've buffed his base stats, they've buffed his abilities, they've buffed items, they've buffed runes, they've buffed so many things to try and make Lucian a better champion. So we're going to be trying him in this gameplay. It's going to be another analyst gameplay as well, so we take a look at what decisions I make, see if they're good or bad, and what I can improve on. I'm going to show you the build on the screen now. You can see that the build for Lucian is pretty standard, you know, nothing too crazy. I think the big thing is that you are going for something like Essence Reaver. Essence Reaver just works so well with Lucian's kit. You can use your first ability, especially during the early game when you get the item as a second item or even as a first item, depending on what you want to go for. You can just clear ways very, very easily. Not only that, but your ability is going to do more damage against champions. Then you have Bloodthirster for the sustain, Magnetic Blaster to be able to hit champions at a distance. So there's so many good ways in which these items can work so well with Lucian. We are playing Lucian Nami versus Zeri and Lux. Lux is a little bit difficult. I'm quite lucky that I go for Lucian this game because I do have a bit of mobility to try and dodge away with the Lux lasers. See, the big thing with Lucian in the early game is you want to use your first ability to try and basically hit it off minions onto champions, exactly like that, what I just did there onto the Lux. You want to try and do that as much as possible. It's a really nice way for you to deal with a little bit of poke damage, but also try and hit the minions as well. You can last hit the minions and also hit champions at the same time. Then if you can walk up, if you can auto attack, then you'll be able to proc your passive, and then one more auto attack, you proc Kraken Slayer. So there are many good ways in which you can use this, and we get the first blood from it as well. So very, very nice. I might go for the tower dive here. No, I think it's too risky to go for the tower dive. I do hit her, the Zeri, again with my first ability. So really dropping her low on health. I just don't want to go too far here. It's too early in the game. Level 3 towers do way too much damage. But you see here that it's just, it's kind of a no-brainer really, to be fair, to go for that one when she's so low on health. I even dodge away from the Lux Q as well. I mean, that was a beautiful play overall. Dodge away from the Lux Q. We get the kill on the Zeri in the end as well. It was just a pretty perfect tower dive. You can see how I was kind of hesitant most of the time to try and go for the tower dive because towers do so much damage in the early game. It's disgusting that you're pretty much just going to die most of the time. So you do have to wait until you poke them a little bit. You do a little bit of damage. But with the poke that myself and Nami did deal, then it's kind of no surprise, you know, Zeri being able to you know, not really escape from that. I had my flash, I had my dash as well, and we even survived, which is even more of a bonus. So really, really nice way to start off this game and start off this Lucian Nami content. I remember Lucian Nami being like, I think it's still like one of the strongest dual lane combos, you know, with Nami giving you the extra auto attack damage and the slows as well with Nami's third ability. Works really well with how Lucian's kit wants to go for. You can either play aggressive, you can play defensive as well. You see how I'm just using my culling here. To be honest, your ultimate doesn't really do a lot of damage. You mainly want to use it how I just used it there, either to push the wave or to do a little bit of poke damage. You see that I also use my first ability to do a little bit of damage as well. Most of the time, that's what you want to do. You don't really want to use your ultimate in, you know, to finish off enemies, if that makes any sense. You want to try and use it to start off a team fight and see if you can do enough damage before you decide whether you want to dash in or anything like that and use your other abilities. We're just pushing this wave here for now, just trying to get the river priority. You can see that we're looking to try and roam up because we've already pushed the bot lane. Trying to roam up, trying to do a little bit, but not really anything going for us at the moment. We know the waves underneath the tower, the minion wave, sorry, is underneath the tower, so there's nothing really we can do about it. They're going to try and push out the bot waves, but we can be able to go back nice and quickly. Sometimes you want to do this. You want to try and roam around and try and make plays. Obviously, we wasn't able to make any plays that time around, but sometimes you can roam around and make plays. One thing that I could have really done here, because I see the Pantheon and the Ahri moving down, is I could have kept the minions underneath my tower. I could have just froze the wave underneath the tower instead of clearing it all. That probably would have been a play, but I think they have vision when Ahri and Pantheon comes down, so maybe nothing really came across from that. Push the wave. We can go back to base now as well. I'm going to buy my components. Got my Vampiric Scepter and my Crit Cloak. I do sometimes go for Essence Reaver first time. Sometimes I go for Bloodthirster. It really depends on the enemy team comps you're against. I think because there's just so much burst damage on the enemy team. You know, Tristana Zoe, Zeri, Lux. There's a lot of burst damage, so I think going for something like Bloodthirster for the survivability in the early game. I mean, the item's still great as well. You know, you can't really complain about Bloodthirster as the first item, so pretty much a no-brainer. I know they're probably in that bush up in the river, so I'm playing a little bit careful here. I'm kind of staying towards the wall side. I also know that the dragon's spawning very soon. There you go. See, I knew they were there. Dodge away from the Lux binding again. Get the culling onto damage onto Lux. Unfortunately, I missed my Q, but I flashed the Lux Q. I get the kill onto Lux, which is really, really nice. I think I saw the Kha'Zix coming down. Yeah, if I didn't see him coming down, I now do see him coming down. We can't really contest this because my team is going up towards Rift Herald. This is another thing as well. Like, if this was any other bot lane, like a random bot lane that I would see, they would probably fight for this dragon before the enemy team gets, before your teammates get there, which is definitely the wrong decision to make. So I wait for my team to kind of walk on down and make their way down, and then I go in and engage, and then I go in to try and get some kills. Because if I go in and try and contest that dragon fight before the Pantheon gets there, then what am I going to do? I'm basically not going to do anything at all. I'm going to jump in. I'm probably going to die. A little bit of damage on Tristana here, get another kill. Really nice early game. Rift Herald being dropped early is also really nice. We can take this mid lane tower. Nice and easy. Boom. There we go. First tower of the game. We didn't take the dragon, unfortunately, but that's totally fine. I think we got so much out of it. We got kills. We got first tower of the game. We're 7-0 in kills at the moment. This is one of them games where you don't feel bad losing dragon. I mean, I don't think you should feel bad losing dragon anyway, because dragon stats are just not that great anymore. Dragon stats are awful now. You never want to go for dragons anymore. You always want to go for Rift Herald. And this is one of them games that, like, yes, they took the dragon. That's fine. But, like, to be honest, was it really worth it for the enemy team? Probably not. They lost the kills for it. They lost the first tower of the game mid lane. So I think it's really, really good for us. Take a little bit of poke damage here, which is a little bit scary. You can see that that Bloodthirster is already doing a lot of damage here, which is really, really nice. The big thing that you're going to see me do here, I'm going to clear this ward here. Ari's going to walk up. Now, you're going to see what me and Nami actually do in this situation. They have vision of the Pantheon now, but they don't have vision of this Ari. So watch what me and Nami do. We actually don't push this wave. We're actually going to stay back here. Nami does auto attack the wave once, but look at this. We're keeping the wave as it is. Look, we're not auto attacking any of the minions. We're waiting until there. The Zeri walks up, and then we get the kill. This is one way in which you can set up ganks perfectly. You know, if there is a jungler nearby, or if there's a champion nearby looking for a gank, don't just push the wave, because if you push the wave, then the enemy team's just going to stay underneath the tower and you're never going to be able to get the kills. Instead, do exactly what myself and Nami did there. Keep the wave in the middle of the lane, or try and keep it underneath your tower, which is the best. Again, it's kind of the same situation as the Kai'Sa video I mentioned. Kai'Sa one? The Caitlyn, sorry, video I mentioned before. Is that you want to wait and you want to give the enemy team a kind of false hope, false sense of confidence. I guess you could say that they can walk up. They're free to walk up. They're free to do whatever they want. Actually, you're just baiting them. You're just baiting them in because you know that your jungler is nearby and you know that your mid laner is nearby. Now, should Zeri have walked up knowing that the Pantheon is bot side? Probably not, but he probably also didn't know that the Ahri was there as well. So it's just perfectly set up for a gank there. Pantheon's also looking for a roam down in bot lane. So again, I'm just staying underneath the tower at the moment. I'm not doing anything too crazy. I can see the Pantheon ulti coming in now, so I'm just using the culling to clear the minion waves, so there's not really any spicy business happening to minions there, and also doing a little bit of extra damage as well, which is quite nice. Pantheon's still trying to jump in. I'm not sure. No, Pantheon wasn't able to get in range, unfortunately. There's still another kill. Great ulti by the Pantheon, getting into lane as soon as possible. Ahri also roaming down as well. You're going to try and get the kill onto Kha'Zix, but he is just going to jump away. I try and flash, but yeah, it's a waste of a flash. I don't know why I flashed there. Even if I flash there, I don't think I still don't think I get into range. I really don't think I even get into range. So there was no point me flashing there. It was pretty much a waste of a flash, but it's still okay. But yeah, Bloodthirster first item, going into Essence Reaver as the next item. I'm just taking a blue buff, and I can see Zeri playing over aggressive again down the bot side. Really nice Nami bubble. Lux over the wall. Nice little combo there. And nice cheeky double kill. So yeah, nothing really to say really about this. I mean, I think it's just the enemy bot lane playing too over aggressive in my opinion. Like there's no real need for them to walk up. They don't really have any vision of the bot side of the jungle. And yeah, they just get completely caught out. But this is, again, this is one thing that our teammates are doing extremely well, is that they're using our advantage. They're using our pressure of getting the mid lane tower and getting the bot lane tower and pushing into the enemy jungle. If you just sit back and if you relax and if you do absolutely nothing, then the enemies are just going to come back in terms of gold. But when you take down towers, when you have a gold lead, you need to be proactive. Sorry, not productive. Productive was also, I guess, the right word as well. But proactive was the right word that I was thinking of. Really, really important to make sure that you're roaming around, you're trying to make plays, because you know that you're ahead. You know, in this situation, I'm trying to look for the Kha'Zix. I'm trying to get kills onto the Kha'Zix and other champions, because I know that we are extremely far ahead. So we want to make sure that we try and get more of an advantage rather than sit back and let the enemy team farm. Because if we sit back and do nothing, the enemy team is going to farm and they're going to catch up in gold eventually. You know, that will happen. They will eventually catch up in gold. Yeah, we're doing just that. You see, again, you can see that we're trying to make a pick here. We're trying to go for a play. Not really anything to go at the moment. I'm trying to jump onto the Zoe here, but yeah, nothing that I can really do, unfortunately. I do go on to Tristana. I'm pretty sure Tristana's dead here. Yeah, Tristana just is completely dead there. I'm not too sure why Tristana jumped in. That's okay. Yeah, top lane tower again. And again, we know we're this far ahead, so we know that we can make these sort of risks. And even if we do die, then, you know, it's still completely fine. I think I do die eventually in this game. Spoiler alert. Unfortunately. I'm going to try and take this this Baron lane tower. And the big thing is that my team is also pressuring mid lane at the same time. So whilst we're pressuring top lane, our team is also pressuring mid lane as well. So we're kind of pressuring two lanes at once. This is another big thing as well. If you're able to pressure two lanes at once, that's a lot better than pressuring just one lane. Because if you just push one lane as 5 people, it's a lot easier for the enemy team to be able to defend against that. Yeah, going down to the bot lane now, because I know that there's a huge minion wave coming. I want to collect that gold. I think I'm at 3 items now, or I might be at 2.5 items. I don't think I finished Blaster just yet. We're at 2.5 items. Really, really strong position as well for Lucian. The one downside about Lucian in general is his late game. His early game is pretty good because you have Kraken, you have, you know, Bloodthirster, you have a lot of burst damage. The problem is he's not really like a hyper carry in a way. You know, if you compare Lucian to someone like Zyra or Kai'Sa, he doesn't really deal with the same amount of late game damage as someone like Zyra, for example, which is probably why they keep buffing him. Here I'm looking to try and make a flank. I'm trying to kill the Tristana here. I use the exhaust straight away. Unfortunately, I actually missed my first ability. I dash in and yeah, I die. There's my mistake. There's my death and there's my mistake. I went too far by myself. The reason why I could play aggressive before is because I had my team with me. But yeah, going by myself when there's a Kha'Zix roaming around. To be fair, I didn't know the Kha'Zix was there. I thought I can just flank and kill the Tristana and escape, but Kha'Zix was actually there as well to protect it. But totally fine. Would it be a strict game without a mistake, would it? I always make a mistake at some point during the game. But yeah, in that situation, I just need to just not go for that play and not play for Tristana. I mean, it actually kind of worked out in the end. Even though I died, they killed the Kha'Zix, they killed the Tristana. So overall, it's actually not a bad play because I kind of baited the Kha'Zix in. We killed the Kha'Zix and then that actually secured us the Baron. So overall, it's not a bad play. I mean, yes, I died for it, but the rest of the team got the advantage anyway, and they were able to get an advantage from that position. So can't really complain too much. I have a play happening in bot lane here, trying to do enough damage onto Zeri. Yep, the Cunning's just going to come through here, do enough damage. Like one of the only times that Cunning actually gets a kill. But you can see, like, my wave clear with Lucian with this build is pretty disgusting because you got Blaster, which does the static shift proc. You got Essence Reaver, you got Bloodthirster as well. There are so many ways in which you can do so much damage. I nearly killed a Lux there. I didn't want to go too aggressive because she did have Crown of Shattered Queen. We're going to go for this bot lane tower. You can see that I'm pinging the bot lane tower as well because you never want to push mid lane here. Like, what's the point of pushing mid lane when the Nexus is exposed? Yes, but you're never going to be able to destroy Nexus here. It's a lot better to try and push the other lanes and try and get more inhibitors. You can see that Yone's actually going back to base here, which is actually really smart. He's probably going to go up to the top lane and try and pressure that. Yeah, exactly what Yone's doing. Yone's doing a really, really clever play. Look at that burst damage. My god, when you get ahead with Lucian, it's very scary. But you can see Lucian went back to base. He's going to push in the top lane now. That's all we need to do now. Like, all we need to do, we've got the bot lane pushed in with the inhibitor down. Got the mid lane pushed in with the inhibitors down. All we need to do, go up the Baron lane and take the Baron lane. We can also take Drake as well. Is that all the Drake, or is that Soul? Might be Soul. Actually, no, they took the first dragon, didn't they? So that's not Soul. We can still take the dragon anyway. I know my Pantheon's fine with taking the dragon, so I'd rather just push mid lane here and just pressure in mid lane. I'm then going to roam up to the Yone as well, because I know that I want to try and take the inhibitor tower again in this top lane. I try and dash it onto Zeri here, but it's a little bit scary. Yeah, I was a little bit unfortunate there. I thought I could flash and kill the Zeri, but I actually kind of flashed the wrong way. If I flash forward instead of backwards, then I'd probably kill the Zeri, but then I also probably die to Tristana. So one of them things. But there we go. 3 inhibitors down. Yone did extremely well to push in the Baron lane. So now all you have to do is wait for the mid lane to push, the Baron lane to push, and also the bot lane to push. You can see Kha'Zix has kind of given up this game. That's all we have to do. Tristana jumps in, just gets destroyed straight away. Colin's going to do a little bit damage, not a crazy amount though. My ability is not doing that much damage because I do have a little bit of attack speed in the build, but I think Blaster is a really, really good item. So yeah, this bot lane's pushing in as well. You can see this inhibitor wave pushing in. Mid wave's pushing in, top lane's pushing in. So yeah, we just kind of need to wait here and wait for the minions to do the talking for us, really. Unfortunately, Yone does die because he gets isolated. We have to kind of we kind of have to chase after the Kha'Zix here. Make sure that the Kha'Zix doesn't, yeah, do anything too fishy. Which is fine. Again, Zeri needs to push our bot lane. Baron is coming up in 5 seconds. I mean, I think the safest play here is just to go back and get Baron, which I think is what I ping here as well, because I know that it's extremely difficult for us to push. So yeah, I think I ping the Baron here. Yeah, we should just take Baron here. Baron is the correct play here. We just take Baron. I think Kha'Zix is still dead as well. Yeah, Kha'Zix is still dead for 20 seconds. So we just take the Baron here and then we can just end the game here. This is like one of the decisions that I think a lot of people might not make. They might try and end the game because there's 3 inhibitors down. But Baron just secures you the win. You know, you probably still win the game anyway just by pushing the minions. But taking a Baron buff pretty much just secures you the win. I'm gonna get my boost upgrade, get my stasis just in case. I don't even need the chain vest at this point because I'm so far ahead. I mean, they're not doing a lot of damage. 0-7 Zeri, 1-4 Kha'Zix. I think that was a 0-4 Tristana. They're not going to be doing any damage anytime soon, so I just get another long sword. Elder Drake spawning soon as well. Yone's pushing down in the bot lane. We should probably have someone in mid lane here trying to push the or Baron buff the wave in mid lane, which is what I'm going to go and do now. Get the waves pushed in. Baron buff mid, Baron buff bot lane. Probably don't even need to wait for this Elder Drake, to be honest with you. We could probably just push with Baron and end this game. We do need to be a little bit careful. I mean, he's going to dash in and get a kill anyway, so can't complain about that one. I think we actually end the game here because we have Baron. Yeah, look at that. Baron wave bot lane, Baron wave in mid lane as well. Yeah, there's no way they can defend this. I'm actually going to dash in here and get another kill onto Zeri. Why not? Dash in, get another kill. GG's. Good game overall. Just the one mistake that I really made in the Baron lane. I think if I didn't make that mistake in the Baron lane, it would have been pretty much a flawless game. I mean, like, it's pretty much flawless. I don't think it gets much flawless than that, to be honest with you. Let's check my damage in the end and check my score. 11-1 MVP. Yeah, you can see my build here. I would have gone GA last item. 25k damage, not that bad. I mean, it was quite a short game though, wasn't it? I think it was quite a short game. 25k damage is quite a lot, but what was the game length? Can't even remember. 17 minutes, so not bad for a 17-minute game. Probably would have gone up to like 30k damage if it lasted like, you know, 20 minutes or just beyond 20 minutes. So pretty good in the end. You see Kraken Slayer damage this game. Disgusting actually how much damage Kraken Slayer can do. 2,200 damage out of my 25,000 damage, so that's quite a lot. It's like 10% of your damage just coming from Kraken Slayer, which is pretty big. Yeah, it just shows how well it can work with Lucian. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this analyst sort of gameplay. Hopefully you enjoyed me breaking down my gameplay. Again, if you enjoyed the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel and like the video, and I'll see you all in the next wild video. Peace.